Hello. Thought I would record this one impromptu without a whole lot of preparation. Basically, I want to share a pretty simple idea about nutrition and nutritional healing and the journey that I'm seeing. It's becoming clearer to me how we heal through nutrition and how we can all heal through nutrition if we are, because we're all on this journey. So we're on a journey from being more dogmatic and extreme in our views and more fixed and rigid in our thinking, where things are black and white, to more of a scientific-minded view of things. What I want to say, because if we look back at history, it's so easy to see how people have been very superstitious and dogmatic, and believing all kinds of superstitions that just weren't true. Even recently listening to the song by Stevie Wonder, "Very superstitious," that tune. It's about ladders about to fall. And the lyric goes, and if you believe in things you don't understand, then you suffer. That's the lyric. So, and that's what that song's about. It's about believing things that you don't understand, you suffer, and that's the truth. So, trying to keep it on track here. My mind goes off different directions. So when it comes down to nutrition, people can get into these moralistic views and different kinds of black and white thinking and really not actually have much education in terms of nutrition. I was like that once, thinking that everybody should be vegan and I should convert everyone to veganism, and I'd gone vegan, and it was going to solve all the world's problems, from global warming to everything else. It's a very simplistic view. I wish it was the case, but I've since continued to learn for another 12, 15 years, and I see now that it's, veganism has some effects on the world, but it's a bit too simple to think it's going to solve all or most of the world's problems. Talking about the journey of nutrition is like this. This is what I see now, is that we might start out, so I see kind of 3 levels of nutritional understanding or levels of nutritional evolution, nutritional healing that we can use and apply in our lives. So the first level would be like the common person. This is the common person who is into eating healthy, and they do things like everyday things that most people know, like I'm going to eat less sugar, and I'm going to read the labels and make sure I eat less sugar. I'm going to try and eat more vegetables. I'm going to try and eat greens, and maybe I'll even go off of milk and go on to almond milk, and maybe even buy organic for some things. Or they might think I need to eat no meat, or I should take a multivitamin. They buy a multivitamin at Safeway or whatever. But the second level of nutritional understanding is a level of a health coach. So a health coach is someone who, just center myself here. A health coach is someone who has nutritional training, or they're like a nutritionist, and they have training. And so they've seen through some of those myths because they got some education, and now they may say eat mostly vegetables, but a little bit of meat. So they're not vegan anymore, but they're eating a little animal protein, and they're eating high quality animal protein, which means like free range or organic. Also, they may do things at this level like buy a quality multivitamin. So they're not buying just whatever is on the shelf and on sale, but they're making sure they buy a quality one and the right one for them. And they buy it at a health food or whole food store that has a knowledgeable staff and sells quality supplements. So the level of a health coach is the next level of understanding. I was going to put it like this, but actually I think it's more like this. We evolve from basic nutritional understanding to a health coach's level of understanding. And the next level is a functional medicine practitioner or a nutritionist, or a naturopath. So this level, the third stage of evolution of our understanding of healing through nutrition, is where you also understand things very scientifically. So, and you understand the little idiosyncrasies, the little subtle fine points of the variability of people. You understand that people have different genotypes, different genetics. You understand that we have different, like depending if you came from an Asian family, Asian genes, or an Irish family, Irish genes. So your genetics. Also, there's your metabolic type. Are you a fast metabolizer or a slow metabolizer, or in between? Then there's things like, are you What blood type are you? Blood type is definitely, from all the sources I hear, they say that blood type does show up in terms of choosing your best diet that will make you feel your best and make you the most healthiest for you. So you got 4 blood types: A, B, AB, and O. So a nutritionist or a naturopath or a functional medicine trained person, trained doctor, is going to look at all those elements. Even a health coach will look at many of those elements too. But the more you move over here towards the basic person that has no training, the less scientific they're going to be and precise, and the less they're going to refer to studies and have more of a broad understanding of even how studies can conflict. Because over here they know that studies can conflict and that even certain studies don't get published. If the funder doesn't like the results, they have the choice of just not publishing the study. So that's a pretty huge influence on what shows up as truth in our world. If it's a big pharma or whatever, or whoever it is, they may have an agenda and they may not publish certain studies. And I can go into that a lot more, but I want to keep this video short. So the more you go to this side, the more you get a scientific view of things that's based on like studies and observation, of actually observing your clients in your practice, or really working with many people. So as you have a wider knowledge base. But here it's more like a health coach. So here you're working with nutrition, you're working with lifestyle. And also I want to say that as we get into healing ourselves, as we move, we might think, oh, I need a naturopath or I need a functional medicine trained person. And that is valuable. But there's something to be said about the health coach, because a health coach is going to charge you less money to start with. A health coach is usually going to see you for once a week or once every 2 weeks for like a period of months. Whereas a naturopath, you're usually I think going to pay more, and they may only see you like twice, and they may not have kind of a coaching system set up of seeing you many times for less money. Naturopaths are great. I'm not against them at all, but and what we're seeing increasingly is naturopaths or functional medicine trained doctors working together with health coaches on a team, so that you see them for one thing and you see the health coach every week, or you talk with the health coach every week on the phone. Because the thing is, for most people, this is my idea. One of the ideas I want to share in this video that is really important is that for most people, you may not fully need a naturopath. But you might get more benefit for your buck out of seeing a health coach, because a health coach is probably going to charge you less than a naturopath, but they're going to see you more often, more consistently, and help you to make the small changes that are most important for you now, which means the most obvious things that you can do, like to your diet, to your lifestyle, get you taking some basic supplements maybe. So they're not necessarily, a health coach may not get you doing labs, like blood tests and such to find out where your vitamin D is at, or where your vitamin B12 is at, or where your iron levels are at, or how much good bacteria you have going on in your gut. You can find that out by stool testing and by hair mineral analysis and blood testing. There's all these tests we can do. A health coach probably won't get you doing a bunch of tests, but what they will do is they'll get you making the changes that are going to make the most difference to you right now, that are the changes that that are most obvious. So like, if you're not eating 3 servings of vegetables a day, then that's the place to start. You don't even need to do tests. You can do that later. That can be the fine, tailoring of your program later. But for now, you want to be eating at least 3 servings of veggies a day. You want to be eating dark leafy greens probably once a day at least. You want to be adjusting your diet to be more in tune with your blood type and with your genotype and with your metabolic type. You want to be making those macro changes. Then when you get over here, you can work with the fine tuning and the micro adjustments to your diet and your lifestyle. And right here, your lifestyle is also being worked with. So, diet and lifestyle, those are the 2 main things that make our health. So, getting yourself into the right kind of work for you, getting yourself around the right kind of people for you, getting you more active. What gets you moving? What kind of activities do you love to do that are physical? Or how can you just integrate that into your routine through your week? So there's all these, I just about dropped my crystal thing there, it kind of freaked me out. So there's all these kinds of things that matter. So the 2 main ideas here are, you may not need to go to a naturopath right away. You might benefit by just seeing a health coach to start with. and working with the most obvious kind of macro elements of your diet and lifestyle. The other main idea I have here is that we evolve, we grow through our lives naturally from a more dogmatic, extreme, kind of polarized view of things to a judgmental view of things, where you think that if you're vegan, you're better than other people or something, all the way to a more scientific-minded view of things that's based on a wider reference of experience. So just to throw one more idea out there, one of the things I've learned to do is I seek out opposing points of view, because if you think about it, if you're always just looking at what you like to read, say you're into being a paleo, and you always read just paleo books, then you're going to think that paleo is the best for everybody, because that's kind of what they tell you. It's, a lot of them do that. It's not all of them, but the thing is, if you then look for an opposing viewpoint and you read that, it might blow your mind, because suddenly you'll go, wow, here's some people who are weightlifting and they're gaining muscle and they're living on mostly fruit. I thought that was impossible, but it seems like they're doing that. In this book, it's got, person after person after person, firsthand, their story, firsthand testimonials. So I read, for example, the 40-30-30 diet, that book, and it's about a mostly fruit and fat-based diet. And it's people, bodybuilding on that. And I had a roommate who was living on mostly fruit, and she was doing it in the winter. She had more energy than anyone had ever seen, and she seemed really healthy. So, we know the more you go into this end of things too, the more you understand that there is a great variety in terms of what works for people in terms of their diet. And some people do seem to do great on vegan and grains and beans, mostly. And other people seem to do great on meat and vegetables, mostly. It's really individual, but there are certain general patterns that we've noticed, and those patterns are kind of where we start with our nutritional healing, and definitely a clear one is to eat a mostly plant-based diet. So, plant-based, mostly vegetables is the way to go. Organic is better than conventional. Lots of water, that kind of thing, and healthy fats, and customizing, experimenting to find out what kinds of proteins work for you and what kind of amounts work for you. That's my chat about nutritional healing. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you leave me some comments, because it's just so gives me back energy when I get a comment from someone, even if it's just short, like thanks for the video, or I loved it, or tell me what you did like, or tell me what you didn't like, and thanks so much.